Variety calls Sisu the Roadrunner versus Nazis. And Collider writes, Rare Exports director gleefully takes out Nazis in bonkers action film. Welcome back to Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest, the weekly podcast where movie enthusiasts, ex-movie theater projectionists, new and old friends take the time to talk about a movie that we just watched and answer that very question, should or shouldn't you watch this? Welcome back to the show, my first and second in command, Sail Away Tribe, and I don't have enough legroom Cole.
Oh, yeah, ain't that the truth?
This is a little longer, but I'm doing this to torture Taylor now, apparently.
He just watched it. Now he's got to listen to it again.
Mm-hmm. We're going to play the entire movie right now.
This is his way of saying he hates you.
That's Sisu finding gold.
I was going to say, it's got to be an interesting trailer.
It does have throat singing. I didn't even notice that. Yeah.
Get off the house! This old fucker is a gold miner. We're rich, boys. Get down on your knees.
Language alert.
Yeah, this is explicit lyrics now.
We got gold!
He was a Finnish commando. He lost his home and his family in the war. He became a one-man death squad.
Yes.
He's one mean motherfucker that you do not want to mess with.
Red Band trailer.
You'll see what happens when you take everything from him.
Do you really believe that he's immortal?
No, he just refuses to die.
How many mines did we bury here?
All of them.
You? And you?
This is like the entire movie.
It's out of order in all sorts of different orders.
True.
This is not about who's the strongest. This is about not giving up. We have a word for that in Finland.
Mm-hmm. It's Sisu.
Sisu!
Yeah!
We might have a problem.
Yeah, we might have a problem on this pod because there's going to be a lot of hate coming, so just get ready. Let's get into popcorn trivia.
Let me tell you something, Pandeo.
All right, I apologize to the listeners. There is not a lot about Sisu that I could look up, but I did find two things that I thought was interesting. Sisu is a Finnish word described as stoic determination, grit, bravery, resilience, and hardiness.
Yeah, that's the thing about this. Is like they say at the beginning it can't be translated and then give a bunch of translations for it. It's like, well, what do you mean?
I think just a general understanding.
Yeah, they're when that happens and you have got to give like 17 words to describe a feeling.
I don't know. What's the difference?
I mean, I speak fluent Spanish, and there's stuff that doesn't translate that well when you go to English. And it's even worse in German.
Apparently, all the swears in Spanish are real good and don't translate.
There are a lot of swears in Spanish, but like there's German words that there's just one word that means like a sentence.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah,
like
Schadenfreude.
Yeah, like stuff like that. So I believe it.
Fine. All
right. Jalmari, Hollander was originally going to direct a comedy science fiction film called Jerry and Miss Universe in Canada. When it was postponed due to COVID-19 pandemic, he quickly wrote Sisu in the fall of 2021.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, especially with like the amount of people you'd need. You're kind of in a remote area. Yeah,
it's a good idea.
Probably more workable.
I mean, that's all the trivia that I have. So I feel like we just need to get into beefs because we were holding that beef back. We were clenching the beef. We will need to release the beef.
Where's the beef? Hey, where's the beef?
All right. I kind of only have one beef. Well, I have two beefs.
All right.
My first beef is I don't like at the end of the film. Well, no, it's kind of in the middle of the film when they're at the lake and Rambo Sisu is cutting throats and sucking air.
I thought that was pretty funny.
I like that.
I will
no,
give that
that's
as
not
like-
my beef. I'm just
okay.
saying that's the context
moment, yeah.
of the moment. And the guy in the last guy in the boat that has not been giving his air to Rambo, he is trying to get out because he's scared as balls. And the commanding officer is going to shoot him for derision or
Desertion.
desertion.
Derision. He's being very rude.
The original,
Very rude.
He's very, yeah, he's being very.
Sorry,
you
desertion.
could at least be nice about your leaving.
You're being so derisive.
Sorry, desertion. So, but that's exactly what he was doing with this whole company.
No.
Yes, he was.
The SS officers.
I'm not saying that.
bothered me in a lot of ways. He seemed very stupid and ordered his men to do things that they would like. You'd be provoking a mutiny, like.
Yeah, there would
It's
be
like you should go walk into those mines. It's like you get one person to do that, and then you don't get the other. You don't even ask the other person to do it because it's like, for what purpose?
So
to die?
blowing people up.
Welcome to war.
Yeah. So the thing is, like there's no reason to do this. Like, let's go around. We put these mines here. This is stupid. I don't know.
Because
it bothered me.
He was dead either way because he saw Sisu come up out of the water who was holding on to the rope. So he either had to row him to shore, get in the water and get his throat slit, or get shot by the officers.
Yeah, and
so
then
we
they
thought
couldn't-
maybe he could row away.
And they couldn't. Yeah.
No, I'm not mad at the guy. I for sure would be
you're
out.
mad at the captain.
Yeah. No,
I'm mad at the captain because
the officers
he was disobeying orders anyway.
don't make much.
But the others don't know that. The others don't know that they were told by the general to return. The others are
Only that one guy on
Yeah,
the radio.
I guess
that's-
Okay.
right, yeah.
All right.
And the
well,
whole plan is to steal the gold and kill everyone else anyways. So they've got they're just trying to keep
Yeah.
everyone else from mutinying. So it makes perfect sense why
My problem is that he wouldn't have missed that shot across the river. That was not that hard, and he kept missing it. He was like, "Well, I can't shoot it with this thing I have in my hands. I'm going to go back to the tank, and then also miss."
If you don't-
here's my other beef. You want to hear my other beef?
Mm-hmm.
My beef is you have the beef with this film.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, listen,
It
this
didn't work
movie
for
is
me,
not.
man.
It's not supposed to be like
What was the
Saving Private Ryan, dude.
No,
It's-
I agree.
this is like
It didn't-
It's over the top violence.
It
It's-
didn't work as that for me, though. That's all I'm saying.
What-
Like, I like.
explain your beefs.
what was the point
I need
when
to
your
know.
car broke down?
He's not good enough at fighting to be to survive as much. Like, it's like, because like get John Wick, like he gets hurt all the time. It doesn't die.
First
but
action sequence
I
where
didn't
he's
think
fighting, he
did-
did a pretty good job.
I didn't think
Well, considering he's heavily
because he stabs
outnumbered.
that guy in the head, and then the other guys are just dumbfounded. There's just a lot of stuff like that where it's just like the Nazis being like incompetent stormtroopers who can't
I was
shoot.
just about to say that.
And then like later on with the guys in the motorcycle, they're like just too scared of his legend to like do it, and it's just like I don't buy it. I didn't like that stuff in like the John Wick sequels where they just kept talking about like, oh, it's John Wick. It's like
Baba Yaga.
that was fun in the first movie. They should have stopped that in the second and third ones. In the fourth one, I didn't feel like they did as much. So
That's true. They didn't.
because I just thought it got annoying because it's like,
So you feel like he's not a great fighter.
yeah,
He
he's
doesn't.
not doing. He's not.
He
as
doesn't live up to
impressive.
the legend. You don't like.
And he's getting shot all the time. Like he's like running out in an open field. He gets shot in the leg.
I
and
mean,
like,
arguably, that's a beef that they didn't shoot him a million times because he has a Captain
it
America
bothered
shield.
me. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but it bothered you that he got hit, but not that he's getting shot by a million bullets and he doesn't get hit.
Yeah, no, that bothered me too. Like that, like
Okay,
he gets,
so
he
both
gets
of them
shot a
bothered
lot.
you.
So like that, like I think speaks poorly of his ability to be a super soldier if he can't take cover or whatever. But then he's also like, yeah, I don't know. It felt flat to me. There was no tension after like a while. It didn't seem like he was like.
After he can survive from hanging from
Yeah,
a
it wasn't
wall,
like
right?
Rambo where he's like injured through most of it, you know, like how Rambo always gets hurt or something. And it's because he was hurt in this and you didn't feel like he was.
He just stitched himself up with
I
some
felt
barbed
like he
wire
got
and keep
hurt,
going.
dude.
I know, but it didn't affect anything in any way. Like
He was still able to
didn't-
fight back.
It didn't feel like he was like worse for wear.
Yeah, but you
I don't know.
get to see all
I
of
found
his.
I found it very
You got
deflating.
to see all of his scars. And
I know.
Stuff. It's
I found it very deflating though that he could like still walk after like leaving his like leg on that hook for like the entire night and stuff.
Maybe he just doesn't feel.
I don't know. It's too much. It was too heightened. I wasn't on board.
Okay, here's the question then.
Okay.
Before we get to Cole's beefs, what could have or should have happened for this to be a better experience for you?
I don't know.
Because that's the thing. Like a lot of times you're like, I don't like it. Well, why? Well, I just don't.
Yeah.
Don't even, mister. You know what? I thought about it and I actually like the movie now.
What are you talking about? Banshees of Inisherin?
I mean,
Yeah.
it could have been like again. It
kinda
started
don't like
out
it,
like it was
man.
going to be like Rambo, at least the first one, where
No, you didn't know.
he never.
There's no way you thought this was going to be like the first Rambo.
I didn't until it soured. It seemed like it was going to.
Did you see the trailer at all?
I might have. I don't remember it.
Because it's violent.
I didn't even know that it was in English. Like,
I didn't either. That surprised me. Would that have made it cooler if it
No.
was German and Finnish?
no, I don't think so. Not for me.
Wow,
I just didn't do it. I don't know. Like,
nothing can make it better.
I just, yeah, it just.
All right, well, let's move on. Cole, why is there? Do you have any beefs apart from Beefy McGee over here?
It kind of got to the same point. Like it was entertaining right up until he crashes that airplane, because then it's kind of like, because it's either you go like shoot 'em up where it's just over the top right from the beginning and you're like shooting each other as you're falling from airplanes and having sex during a gunfight. Like you just make it over the top the entire time. This one started off really like with a promising premise, like just a badass miner or hunter that could come out of the woods and nail you with a pickaxe and you wouldn't see him coming, as opposed to a guy who's just got to wrap himself in cords and he can survive a plane crash into a swamp and then crawl out of it and still walk to the bank.
So you wanted more realism. You would have made it better for you.
It's kind of like what Taylor is saying. It's like there's no sense of peril or danger after a certain point. You're just kind of like, oh,
At first, you think there is, because I think it's going to be more like a John Wick type movie, and they also made that comparison because it's
like
yeah, sure, he
the
never
situation with
dies.
the lake. Like he gets away after cutting their blood and drinking the oxygen and whatnot, but. Then after that point, it just goes so far out of left field that you're just kind of.
And there was a lot of like bodies being bulletproof, where like none of them go through.
Well, and random
there's too
objects
much luck.
Okay, here's where I disagree.
Too much stormtrooper like.
For me, as soon as he starts slitting throats and sucking their
that was good.
freaking air,
but
that's where I'm like, okay, now I want whatever fantastical, crazy, over the top thing happen next. I want that next thing until we get to the end, and I want it to keep going up, and that's what happened. And that's awesome to me.
To a certain point, because then it takes a weird shift where then he shows up to help these women, and it splits off these stories. And
it
then
became Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, he becomes
it's like a whole bunch,
which is also
movies,
great,
but not. It's like a bad version.
But that starts off crazy from the beginning.
It's not as good as what it's trying.
I feel like you guys are ganging up on me now.
No.
Yes,
I get where he's saying. I'm saying it's good up to a certain point, and then
remember how The World's End? You didn't like how it got too over at the top at the end.
I did not like The World's End.
Like it actually became.
I can't believe you remembered that.
Post-apocalypse at the end, because I think it's a valid criticism of the ending of that movie.
Okay, good. Yeah, I didn't.
It's too much.
Martin Freeman getting a coin flipped into his head was hilarious.
I didn't like that movie.
I liked parts of it.
I like parts.
I liked
of it
the
too.
pub crawl. I liked the wrestling, like with the robot things and stuff. It has its moments.
The Cornetto trilogy ended poorly in my estimation.
Yeah.
Well,
peaks in the middle, like Star Wars did. It's fine.
Man,
I like World's End better than Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, maybe I do, but that's probably more.
No way. Shaun of the Dead is so much better than World's End.
Hot Fuzz is the best.
Hot
Fuzz is great.
By far the best one.
But
yes.
World's End, I like better
No.
than
Shaun of the Dead is different. It's a zombie movie, and that's really great.
But instead of zombies, you've got robots and like aliens.
I don't know. I thought
it's just like the Indiana Jones. As soon as you start throwing aliens, it's not that great.
Well, that's more the refrigerator bomb.
Okay, that's another great example of where you push it too far. There's a fine line.
Where's the edge of the envelope?
This one went too far.
It did not. I wish that it would have. I mean, I think it was great as is. I didn't even want it to go further.
It's good in its own. It's good in its own way. It just I'm kind of with Taylor, where there's no sense of peril. Like if he can survive a plane crash going straight down in the field, like why hasn't the army found him and put him back
he's
in action?
called the Immortal. They were already.
Yeah, I really didn't like that Superman stuff where it just like he's never getting hit. When he does get hit, it's not lethal.
It's a capitalist Superman.
Yeah.
That goal, he just wants to.
He gets strung up and like survives that. It's too much, man. It's too much.
Oh, man.
A crowbar and the kid.
The violence itself.
I'm moving on from beefs because it's such a stinky.
I didn't think the action or violence was good enough to justify it. I don't know. It felt like Sucker Punch. Remember that? That's had the same problem.
Do not bring up Sucker Punch.
Actually, Sucker Punch had way more problems.
That's such a sucky movie compared to this.
Yeah, I agree. I would agree. I would recommend this over Sucker Punch.
Okay,
I'm just saying that the Sucker Punch has the same problem of like a lot of action that doesn't seem to have any stakes.
Way over the top
because of just certain things.
I think the main core problem with Sucker Punch is
that's the twist end.
Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Well, I mean, his superhero movies had the same problem.
What? A sphincter says what?
Freaking Zack Snyder.
What? Exactly.
All right, popcorn puzzles. I feel like both of your beefs were all kind of like peefs. They're mixed beefs and puzzles. But is there any other truly puzzles that you want to add to this? My puzzle is, and it's not a beef. I don't know why. I mean, was he putting that rebar into his upper thigh?
It was hard to know. I thought it was his leg.
Or was his calf area?
It was his leg because he's trying to get his foot on the nail.
Yeah, to release pressure to his neck.
It's where he got shot running away through the trees because then it pans up to his thigh and that's where he sticks it on that nail. Or
he buries his leg onto the bar to like give him support.
Because then you see it.
Then he passes out, he probably
because then he like buries the gold on the ground, but then when he changes his mind, you see him like put a bandage over his thigh where it was that he stuck the bar into.
That's another puzzle for me too. Like I didn't really understand.
He was going to give up because
that's his moment of I'm done.
He's thinking I don't know how to catch up to him, and then he sees the plane.
Yeah,
so that's why he takes the gold back out of the ground.
He's like, go get my gold back.
Yeah, I can go get the rest of this that they took.
Okay, all right.
Because he was about ready to just give up and die there. Not knowing what to do because they'd taken everything from him.
But what was he going to do? Just walk away and come back and get one piece of gold that's worth like
I don't think
$4,000?
Well, he just kept mugged and shot for it along the way if somebody else found him with gold on him.
I'm also curious. Here's another puzzle. I don't know if this is answerable. Well, not at least for us. How much was that gold worth? Do you think?
I don't know.
1944.
If someone who is familiar could probably have looked at it and been
like looked
this
at the
is
weight.
this is for about that much volume of gold and
I bet it's a lot.
Such and such purity. Oh, absolutely. I bet it was.
I bet it's more than just like life changing. I think it's like generational wealth. That much gold.
Oh, for sure.
Like a couple, 1 or 2 generations of wealth.
Probably.
Plus, he also knows where
there could also be more where he found it. So that
could be true too. He could be going back because his bags were full. He might not have been able to carry anymore.
That's true.
Yeah,
there might be more. The curse of Curly's gold.
Yeah,
of Sisu's gold. That's a puzzle. We might never know. Unless there's a sequel.
There'll be some trivia thing someone will do some point.
Sisu, Second Blood.
Taylor, you just hear the enthusiasm going out of Taylor's voice.
Yeah, it's like, well, someone will like it.
Oh gosh! All right, I
just don't think the Nazis should have missed that much when there's nothing to hide behind, and that's happened constantly throughout the movie.
They're tired. They're getting ready to give up. They're going back home.
Pan being able to deflect those bullets.
Huge machine guns attached to tanks and missing, and then
what happened to all the German soldiers? Did they all get hanged? They didn't all die.
What, like in real life?
Yeah, like in historic.
If you did war crimes, you could have been put on trial and hanged. But
if you were like officers,
it's more like officers, and it's more like the Hag Having says like what they should have done at the end of the Civil War, colonel up, hang them all. But like everyone else,
true.
Everyone else is kind of like they could have been forced into it or tricked into it. You don't usually blame enlisted people as much.
Okay. All right. I like that.
They just get put in POW camps.
All right.
Because they're just following orders.
Any other beefs or puzzles that you'd like to get off your chest? Because the next category, because this is a great example of why this is in the show, is because we need to end on a nice note because you guys are so hating.
I just didn't feel it, man. I don't know.
Well, and I'm looking forward to what you have to say.
Maybe it's
I'm just. I see where he's coming from.
Me.
No, I want to hear what you liked. Let's start. Unless you have any other beefs, because you still feel like, I don't know, maybe
this is your therapy.
It just fell flat for me. I can't, like, I didn't hate it. Like, it wasn't like aggressively bad.
I feel like you're hating it just because I like it.
No,
a little bit. Okay, here's some context, listeners. We were supposed to watch Avatar 2.
I know this would have had maybe my brain was just teed up,
but because my sweet wife doesn't like me to be gone for more than 3 hours on a Saturday, I had to protest and make Taylor pick a shorter film, which is...
That one was going to be an argument. Yeah, that would have been good.
We will... Someday, the lost episodes of Avatar will come back and we'll review that. But so that... I think there's a little bit of... little tinge of hatred in your voice because I made you...
A little tinge.
It's not hatred.
Yeah, you hate me. I make you hate me.
It's like, by not liking this thing you like, I am...
Yeah,
your character is flawed... And less.
And I find you disgusting as a person.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, it didn't work for me, man. It's all. It's not bad. I could totally see a lot of people watching it and liking it.
All right, let's get into Popcorn Redemption.
Didn't work for me.
I have exorcised the demons.
All right. I feel like I need to go last because I don't think you guys are going to have anything good to say about this. So
no, it's not.
Let me hear some good things.
It's to kill Nazis, which I guess is good, but I feel like I've seen it done better elsewhere. Is the thing.
Okay, it seems like not a. Redemption.
You're right. I really shouldn't put that at the end there. That's like a real that's real passive aggressive stuff there. Being like,
I did read a couple of reviews of people very angry, just normal reviewers angry that they're hating on Nazis again.
I think those people are just, I don't know,
nuts to be good.
I don't know.
It's like we're not hating on Germans, we're hating on Nazis.
Yeah,
they're the bad guys.
They're the ones who did
they're always going to be bad. Germans are not bad.
They should not have raised the stakes to that level of almost cartoon villainy and evil.
Correct.
That's on them.
Nazis are always going to be bad.
The Nazis did that, so...
But people, the Germans...
did this.
Germans are not bad.
They really, they raised this... So I don't... Yeah, it's I feel like Nazis are a really safe target. It's why they've always worked as Indiana Jones villains.
It's the best villain.
It's like...
Who can we be mad?
It's
apparently some people.
They're kind of irredeemable. It's really hard to
Correct.
see things through them after what they did. So it's why you can do that without it being having to be nuanced about it. Being well, what about the good Nazis who it's who Schindler?
Yeah. Okay. So what other than your backhanded compliment, what other things do you like about the
I thought film? The exploding gore was good.
Yes.
No real.
When the mine hits that guy in the face.
Chapter 2 was the best chapter.
Yeah, the mine's going off. I think the way that was done looked very realistic and gross.
I thought the minefield was chapter 3.
I don't know. I think it was 3.
It was 3. Chapter 2 was Nazis.
Because 1 he finds it, 2 he encounters them.
I love the minefield. Probably that and the last chapter are my favorite. I think it was cool.
Yeah, the explosion, gore stuff, solid. No complaints there. It could have been CG, but it was good enough that you couldn't tell.
It was cool.
If it had been practical, again, you can't tell. It's done well enough and done quickly that's all solid.
I liked when he grabbed the underneath of the carriage of the
he does
the truck,
the Cape Fear thing. Yeah,
it's good. And then he stabs the
gas tank
to mask his smell.
Yeah, there's some clever stuff early on for sure. Yeah,
that's what I mean. It seems like in the beginning he's smart and
it felt like
he's able to outwit him somewhat, and then it just kind of
I thought it was going to be
bonked in the head and he doesn't realize what he's doing.
I thought it was going to be a Jason Bourne Rambo thing more because it starts out and hints that it is that, and it doesn't seem like it follows that trajectory very well. Because after that, it just seems like he keeps getting lucky. But anyway,
again, we're in Popcorn Redemption. Let me remind you what category.
It starts off very promising.
I really liked also that he doesn't speak until the very last second. It's so cool.
Yeah, there's not a lot of dialogue, so if you don't want to have to pay attention to that, if you just want some visual storytelling,
I like that a lot. That was cool.
There's about 2 minutes of subtitles.
There is a
Everything
tank
else
in
is
it, as
English.
we talked about. There's a tank that plays a very prominent
Hate
role.
to spoil it for you, but that tank I read, I didn't bring it up last week, but it's not a German tank. It is a Soviet tank that they disguised as a German
Is that
tank.
why all the crap's piled on it?
Yeah, and it's also not of the era, but it was only $6.5 million.
I'm not the one to nitpick that.
You just like tanks.
I just like tanks.
Yeah, but give us a tank.
Yeah, no, it's
tank, was the tank quotient filled for you?
I mean, I would have liked more tanks.
Yeah,
but
more tanks is better.
But I think it did well with the one tank.
Yeah, I liked it.
It's like Fury in reverse.
I think Fury has an excellent tank quotient, like just excellent all around.
That is a great tank. That is a great tank.
There's lots of great tanks in that movie.
I like the 50 cal shots going off.
The bullets, the tracer rounds.
And the wide scope of when they shoot the cannon blasts.
Oh, yeah.
That's really
They don't do that
cool.
very often. I feel like that's a budget thing. Because, like, I mean, that's another thing is, like, you wouldn't have done that to shoot a guy.
Well, they had those other explosions they had to film, like the horse and the plane.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the majority of their money went to explode.
But I mean, again, if they had that whole movie without using the tank cannon, I would have been like, "What are we doing here?" Like,
why are we even wasting our?
So, I mean, I know that like in
minutes?
real life they probably would just use the 50 cal for everything because like what they're fighting a guy, like who cares? He doesn't.
Yeah, but it's cool to see them
That's
blasting.
right. So I will give that. Yeah, that's good. They shoot that tank and it's cool.
All right, Cole. Any other redemption?
That's what I liked about the first half. It was just pretty unpredictable. Like you didn't know who's going to step on a landmine and get blown up, or who's going to get shot at from a tank, or this and that. And the pacing was really good up until the point where you kind of realize that he's going to be immortal through the whole film. So it's like watching Jason Voorhees come around and take everybody out.
Yeah. Let's give our rating.
Maybe if it had like shown like it more from the Nazi perspective and you didn't know,
like he's more mysterious.
Yeah, like I mean, if it was like Predator, like but with the Nazis where he's the Predator, because that's kind of like what Rambo's.
That would have been amazing.
Could be like.
That would have been pretty cool.
So like if something like
they'd have to alter the story quite a bit.
It would be harder, but I think that would have had more tension because
it would have been
cool, and you wouldn't have known that he's like getting absurdly lucky a lot because like that's kind of like they just kept showing him get lucky, and it was like
if they had taken his gold and he was hiding, like taking him out to get the gold back rather than them just chasing him for the entire like hour before they finally get a hold of it.
I think it's a fine movie. It's fine. Give it a watch. It's only an hour
All
and a half.
right, what's your rating?
2 out of 4.
Oh, this is the very first time you've ever given an actual rating.
It's because it's not bad. Like I wouldn't say this is like garbage.
Yeah, you're this is some stars.
Yeah, I mean it's not garbage. I know people will like this and probably saw it and liked it.
Yeah, 88% of people like it.
Didn't work. It just didn't work for me. So it's like
all right, name a film that's similar.
Rambo.
Okay, all right. Yeah, okay. All right. I walked into that one.
Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, Rambo. Mad Max Fury Road.
Rambo is great. I mean, let's be honest. All right, Cole, what's your rating? We got some stars, which equates to 2 out of 4. Which I think is higher than what I think you want to give it 1 star.
I don't, because it's not like poorly made or like inept.
Okay.
It's like it makes sense. Like it's not like with really bad movies where it's like, well, I don't know what happened there.
All right, Cole.
2.5 out of 4.
All right, that's lower than you normally. You're 3.5.
I couldn't see myself watching it again just because I'd get bored really quick because you'd see everything coming the second time. It's funny
it's not as satisfying for you like the second time watching it again, probably.
No, you already know who's going to get blown up or shot at, and so then it just kind of takes some of the joy out of it.
All right, well, here's where I'm at.
3 out of 4.
No, I'm giving this a large bucket of popcorn.
I thought you were going to say gold bucket just out of spite. I was going to be like, oh, that's beautiful.
I mentioned it multiple times. I'm criticized for that. I need to be more.
Got to bring down that inflation, great inflation.
You can't be a critic that gets criticized, that allows criticism to.
I am allowing it. Yeah, it's leaked into me.
The great inflation is a valid criticism.
So
he's got to balance it out, man.
If I were just giving golden buckets willy nilly, I still don't think I would give a golden bucket to this. But I would watch this again. If I'm like really pissed at someone and I'm like angry and I'm like, I like revenge films
darn
in
Nazis.
general.
Everyone loves a good revenge film.
I like Taken. I like Count of Monte Cristo. I like Rambo. This is good.
Taxi.
Predator. This is good. I guess that's not a revenge film, but it's still
Predator.
I mean,
No, I don't think it's a revenge
It's just
film.
a hunting an alien.
I mean, it's more of it's like a slasher film in reverse, like where instead of teenagers, it's commandos, which is kind of a fun twist on the genre.
That is an amazing film, but yeah, that's where I'm at. So large bucket of popcorn. I think if you're okay with all the things that we talked about with regard to gore and blood and violence, this is good. Watch it.
It's like something Rob Zombie would make if he was a better director, is what it kind of feels like. Like gory, just revenge, kind of torture. It feels like something Rob Zombie
Yeah, I mean,
would
yeah, I get
to
it.
a much better
I do have to
degree.
say, like, the fact that the visual storytelling is not confusing, which, again, like that would have made it a bad movie, because, it is not trying to tell its story through dialogue for the most part. Like,
yeah,
there's a
and
little
I
bit,
think the pacing is really good. I think it moves along like you just what's next is coming, and the framing is beautiful. Cinematography is great.
Cinematography is amazing.
Oh man,
Finland's a beautiful country, at least from this movie.
and I think how they shot everybody and the angles were really cool. I don't know, man.
Visually, he's really good.
It's really good.
Just like Zack Snyder.
Oh no, Zack Snyder sucks ball sacks.
Visually, he's
I hate
pretty
that
good.
guy.
No, he's great.
No, he's not.
Just too
I
much
wouldn't say he's
slow-mo.
great, but I did like is a weird term.
I don't like any of his films.
The Snyder cut I thought was interesting. I will say that.
You didn't like You didn't like the Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole?
I don't like.
I cannot.
I really
end
don't like
on
any. I actually don't like any of
Zack
his movies.
Snyder. Yeah. Okay. Good.
But I think he's interesting. You know,
I liked Watchmen. That's about
There are
right.
people-
I
who are
heard
bad at
he's
movies.
making a film that is
Star Wars.
Star Wars
Oh,
that he
100%.
couldn't make, and
I
now
told
he's,
you that.
That's
Yeah,
what
no,
you. Yeah,
it
you
looks
told me.
like it. Like there was like a poster of like some like half moon thing in the sky, like landscape. It's
he
the most derivative thing I've ever seen.
He pitched it to Lucasfilms and they turned it down, and so now he.
But maybe
changed
it's
the names.
maybe it's good.
I'd still see Rogue Squadron.
It
They
is-
just
Believe.
do whatever.
I will
believe.
not believe in that guy. He's dead to me.
Yeah, this movie's better than that.
This movie is better than.
It's not a superhero movie. I actually will give it credit for that. It's an R-rated. You know what? Coming back around, it's an R-rated movie in the modern like day that's like not afraid to be violent.
You just had to bring up Zack Snyder, and already your mood improved.
Just the more I just thinking about like I was like, well, what this is like. I should support this more.
You
even
should.
if I didn't like it that much. I
Yes.
need more of this.
it's well made.
Yeah.
This is the type of movie.
Vote
that we
with
should-
your dollars.
That's right. Like
Okay.
more of this. You know,
Vote
like
with your eyeball.
R-rated movies. As violent
With
as you can
tanks?
make them with tanks.
and violence
It doesn't have to be World War II.
doesn't have to be.
It can be World War
II.
One. It can be the
Yeah,
Korean
that's
War.
right. We
It
need
could be a made-up war.
It could be
War
the
of this.
Vietnam War.
could be a war in the streets.
It could be the 7 Days War.
All right. I think any parting thoughts.
The War on
I
Christmas.
really loved how we finished with Taylor.
You know, that you just had to bring up superhero stuff. You're like, you know what? You're right. We need more of this.
It's not Star Wars. It's
doesn't
not
matter if
superheroes.
it's not 100%, doesn't knock it out of the park. The fact that it swung it all.
It's not
Yeah.
a romantic
It's
comedy
admirable.
with Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah,
It's small budget.
100%.
Did a great job.
Foreign cinema.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So I give it points for all of that.
Thanks, Jalmari Helander.
That's right.
We appreciate what you've done and
keep going.
and keep going. We want more from you. Thank you, John Helander. That's it for this week. But I'm with you always. Look for me in the cloud at Popcorn Priest. I love movies and would love it if you'd share the love. Share this with the movie lover in your life. Another way to support the show is by throwing a few shekels at the priest by visiting patreon.com/popcorn priest and see what extra perks you can enjoy if you made it this far, which is a feat with what we just went through. Go, give us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I command thee. As always, thanks for listening. And thanks. Oops, I did that really poorly. I'll fix that in post. Thanks to my special guests, first and second officers, Sail Away Tribe.
Violent movie appreciators extraordinaire.
Correct. And Up in the Air, Cole. I appreciate you coming on this journey with us.
Word.
Remember, when you watch movies, you can pop off, pop in, or pop out, but always bring the popcorn.